So folks, I want to talk about something that's not easy for me to talk about, and I haven't talked about it much, but I feel like I probably should. So I was adopted when I was a baby. My sister, brother, and I were all adopted from separate families. My brother is black. My sister is white. My parents are white. I'm obviously white. My community was white. My brother was black. He was pretty much the only black kid in the school. There weren't many black kids around. There weren't many black people around where we grew up. I grew up in Hopewell, New Jersey, which is just outside of Princeton, which is lily white New Jersey. And it sucked for my brother. And he dealt with cruelty all day long, from grown-ups, from kids, from everywhere. All sides. Everybody was cruel. It was really shitty. And he not only was the only black kid around, but he also was twice the size of all the other kids his age. And he had some mental health issues. I mean, we had all kinds of diagnoses back then. They said fetal alcohol syndrome. Who knows what he would have been diagnosed with now. But he had a problem behaving. And you know, nobody really wanted to get to know him, and everybody targeted him, and everybody decided that he was the bad kid before they even got to know him, and it was awful. It was particularly awful because he wasn't a bad kid. He was a softie. He was a soft kid who just was not equipped to deal with the way that the world treated him. And I was probably the closest person to him. And I kind of took it upon myself to try to protect him as much as I could. And that was back in free-range parenting days. So, you know, kids went outside and we were expected to stay outside all day. And we traveled in packs. I tried to make the other kids give him a chance. And I tried to navigate all of the bullshit that was thrown at him. And sometimes I was able to, and most of the time I wasn't able to. And there were a lot of times when I resented even having to. Well, it didn't go very well. It didn't go very well. My brother ended up going to prison for 25 years. 25 years. And that was with parents who cared and who tried. And he still went to prison for 25 years. And when you go to prison for 25 years, that's your life, okay? You don't grow up when you go to prison for 25 years. That's your life. You don't grow up. And when you've been raised in a white world, in a white community, in a white family, in a white school, and then you go to prison as a black man who's acting like a white person, that doesn't go very well either. So he never really belonged. Well, he came out of prison intact. He didn't join a gang. He didn't turn into some awful, hardened person. But being in prison for 25 years has an impact on you. And it has impacted him. And his life has not been easy. And he struggles. So, I don't know what it's like to be a black person. I am not a black person. I have not lived as a person with black skin. And I have grown up with privilege. I do not deny that. And I have worked my ass off. So when people accuse me of being some lazy, privileged person, I will not accept that characterization. But when people talk to me as though I have no idea what black people experience, I will not accept that characterization either. Because no, I am not a black person. But I worked my fucking ass off as a kid. In fact, I devoted a lot of my childhood to trying to protect my brother. It wasn't my job, but I tried. It was devastating to me when he went to prison. Devastating. And I felt like I'd failed him. And I know that it wasn't my job to do that. And I know that I didn't fail him, that I couldn't have saved him, but I still felt that way. And so I would really appreciate it if people would offer me a little bit of grace about that topic. Because I think out of any white person, I probably know a lot more about what it is to be a black person in the United States than most white people. So I really need to say that. Because I'm sick and tired of people telling me that I have no fucking idea what it's like to be black in America. You're right. I'm not black. I don't know what it's like to be in that skin. But I'm about as close as it comes to somebody who knows how devastating it is to be treated like shit as a black person in America. And I'm about as close as it comes to knowing somebody who got their life taken away from them because they were black in America. So, just had to say that. Anywho, love ya.